All right, this is another Gibson SG. This headstock went airborne, completely severed. In this case, I glue one spline in, let it sit overnight, then I cut the second dado to receive the other spline. Just heating up the hide glue there. The level 2 students have just left, and they got a front row seat on exactly how to set up the next surgery jig. And we'll finish this one up next week. All right, the first spline is glued into place. We'll let that set overnight. Then we'll spin the router 180. We'll make a cut on the other side of the truss rod, equidistance, exactly the same footprint, and we'll glue that in. Then we can sand it out and start the refinishing process. Go. Darcy's taking care of that SG. That headstock went airborne. You were going to glue that together. Splines are in. He's just sanding them down. He'll be doing the finishing a little later, and we'll hide a multitude of sins. Then we've got another lovely pink guitar with a snapped headstock. So this one's a little bit different. We don't need the indexing pins in this one because we still got that sort of flap holding it together. We will be slicing and splicing this one. Pretty pink guitar with the broken headstock. Just letting that dry. Yeah, I usually strap the body down and hike it up so the neck is clear of the neck assembly, and you put your clamps on, get your nose right in there and make sure you got a good joint. This one, because it was a very long break, we put a couple of indexing pins in there to stop that thing from drifting around. We applied our clamping pressure. Yeah, so you can see that I've kind of jacked the body platform up to kind of tilt the guitar, so I've got to sort of center my stomach, get a good look at it while I'm putting those clamps on. Darcy's moving right along on the finish here. This is the SG, the impossible SG that the neck went airborne. Our splines are in there. He's just sanding those nice and flush, getting it ready for refinishing and touch-up. Okay, so the splines are in. It's been sanded out. Wood grain filler is next. This is that Gibson SG that the headstock went airborne. Fill that in with the dark mahogany wood grain. Of course, that'll be sanded off before shading, but gives you an idea of the process. We're back. Okay, so this horrific break on this Gibson SG. Darcy's working his magic, kind of leveling that out. The back of the neck, the splines have all been flushed, and they will be filled with grain filler and stained. And when we're done, it should be pretty close to undetectable. Thanks, Darcy. I am going to put a compensated nut on this. Kelly, who sent the guitar down from Kirkland Lake, has been very good and very patient with us, allowing us to get this job done. So I'll post some more video or still pictures once the whole thing's done. That's the headstock, face of the headstock that had the Frankenstein marks across it. Darcy basically miraculously covered that up. There's no trace. And then the back of the headstock and the splines. There you go. So this is the other guitar, the pretty pink guitar that it also had the Frankenstein marks across the front. Darcy got it finished, touched up, buffed out, and it's back to its original Mary Kay finish. Splines, no trace of those splines. They're in there. Once again, this guitar is stronger than the day it left the factory. Just had to show you this. Unbelievable. Thanks, Darcy.